Hello everyone and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 3 focused PvP. Today we are starting off with a washing pole. We are going to be that guy. Was that worth the trade? I think it was pretty much even moment. Ooh, going for the rolling R2. Nice. That was good. The trade was a very bad decision, apparently. That brought us down, both low on health, but me lower than him, and him with the more damaging weapon, well, didn't really work out all that well. It was a good move going for the rolling R2, though. You don't see that very often, but it's becoming a little bit more common. I do like that it's becoming more common. People mixing up their attacks more frequently, making it more difficult to punish the rolling attacks. Not a bad thing at all. So, later, following this episode, I'll record the first episode of Copycat PvP. I'm excited. Unfortunately, I have to work tonight. I don't have my usual morning shift. No, not gonna follow up. No. I forgot it's that one. There we go. This is actually the first time I've used a washing pole in this game. I need to get used to it. It's weird. All of this range on such a fast weapon. It's odd to me. I could really spam my running attacks and chase people down with this thing. Okay, that's a good thing. What I was just testing right there, so you know how if you run with your shield up, stop, and then attack, you continue with a running attack? Or a hop, it basically continues your momentum. I was checking to see if backstepping would continue to do the same thing. If it would allow you to do a running attack or a running movement. I didn't think that it would because you can't just backstep into a little hop. But it never hurts to try out these things. Really out of range. Aww. Yes, spam parry because I did it once. That's nice. I mean, had I actually been spamming parry, his little taunt would have made sense. But not so much in this case. Maybe he doesn't realize that the weapon that he's using actually can, in fact, be parried. Maybe he just doesn't quite get that. Unless they changed it with the patch that happened when I was on vacation. They didn't change that, did they? I hope not. That would be very annoying if they did. Now I'm actually not sure. Maybe they changed it, maybe I'm wrong. So, the washing pole. I don't like it. I've never been a fan of the washing pole. Yes, its reach is fantastic, but just Something about it bothers me. Not quite sure what. Oh, you're already buffed up and ready to go. And you're using the, thingamajig. Do you feel like coming down? Yay for running in circles. Baited out the R2 that he was going for. He hit me with it once, so I figured he would attempt to go for it again when I did another running attack. I was right. So, hooray. That's always wonderful. This thing is so stupidly long. It's taller than your character is. That's just silly. You know, I think I would like it better if, like, at least the look of it. I'd like the look of it better if the hilt was longer. I think that's what throws it off. Like, if the hilt was a little bit longer, I'd feel better about the way this looks. Oh, war pick! Hi, friend! I like your weapon choice. I wish I was using it instead of this thing. Gotta work on that distancing a little bit better. That said, I am getting the hang of this thing. I wonder if that was a Leo ring counter on my end at the end right there, or if that was just the damage from a fully charged R2. Hard to say. I would assume it was just the damage from a charged R2, just because 408 attack rating, fully charged, I mean... It makes some sense, I suppose, that it would deal around 500 some odd damage. Although, I'm not sure. Maybe it was. I'm not going to worry about it too terribly much. So the next weapon we're going to be working with is the Longsword. We'll do that in a fight or two, depending on how long this one lasts. Whenever, what was his name? Helmike? Feels like coming down and doing the thing. Dark Sword? Dark Sword. Alright, Mike. What do you got? Yay, R1 spam. Alright, we'll do one more fight. We'll switch over now. Why not? By the time the person gets summoned in, they will have been past that 10-minute mark where I like to switch it up. So, longsword time. The longsword is a fun weapon. Pretty good. Can't really complain about it. I mean, it's just a regular, plain old longsword. It's nothing special. It is what it is. I mean, it's not like the Lothric Knight sword, or rather, the Lothric sword. Yeah, whatever. It's not like it's the Lothric sword, where it's got a lot of thrusting attacks. It's not like it's the broadsword that covers an extreme amount of range. It's just a standard longsword. It's nothing special. It's good at what it does. That's good enough for me. My face is a tad bit bloody. What is that, a Zweihander? No, that's a Storas. You don't see the Zwei very... No, that's a Moonlight. Roll buffing. No, that's not a Moonlight. What is that? Can't tell what that is. It looked like a Moonlight to me. That's the one I tried to go for. I got my attacks mixed up. I was behind you and you went for a parry. That's just silly. I could not tell what sword that was to save my life. Wow. Okay, it was an ultra great sword. Was it the cathedral? Didn't look quite like that. It wasn't profane, it wasn't that thin. It looked a lot like Moonlight to me. So maybe it was Cathedral. Not much of a difference in thickness there, similar hilt shape. I guess I'm just going crazy. I suppose that's all that it is. I'm just going a little bit crazy, guys. It happens. No worries. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Still, the beginning of that fight went pretty well. I'm happy that it ended up being a greatsword instead of the Moonlight. Or an ultra greatsword instead of the Moonlight greatsword. Because that would have meant he roll buffed, and that would have been unpleasant. I can't believe roll buffing is still in this stupid game. Like, FromSoft? Really? Just really? Oh my god! That's the fashion I saw the other day. That's the fashion we saw at the end of the last video. That is it, almost. I think it's a different helmet. No? Oh my god. Ooh, I'm rolling. You got me for the rolling R2. It's about time. I really need to charge my rolling R2s more. That's really what I need to do, because that gets me more often than not. A lot of faster weapons have the same timing for rolling R1s as they do for rolling R2s. So, something I need to watch. it's just annoying to do, because if they see you start to charge for it, they'll just go for a parry again. That's really my issue with the timing of it being so similar with just the simple press. If the timing is the same with the simple press, then they'll get the parry. If the timing is not, well... Great Sword of Judgment. Good with the dodges. This is a good fight. Got you with the roll catch. I liked that fight. Very good timing on the dodges. I liked that. So, I really don't have anything to say about this. I mean, it's just a boring kind of weapon. I mean, it's a longsword. It's not like it's boring, it's just there's nothing special. There's literally nothing special about it at all. Hello, Morgan. We fought before. That worked. That worked well. Good fight, Morgan. Always a good time. Pigeon of the... what? Whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. Ugh. So, I had a guy at work the other day who was just talking, complaining. He was complaining about, and I quote, those damn Mexicans from overseas taking our jobs. Mexicans from overseas. I live in the United States. Mexico is, well, you know, not overseas. I think someone needs a bit of a geography lesson. It's just like, how ignorant are you? Do you really not know the way maps are shaped? Not just the way maps are shaped, but the way the planet is? I mean, let's be honest now. Ooh, good one. Hooray for hyper armor. I mean, I get it. I live in Ohio and I'm pretty much surrounded by farms. Like, everywhere outside of this small city that I live in is just Farmville, basically. But, you know, stereotypical ignorance just, it in a way shocked me. I didn't know how to respond. I was just like, and just let it go, but like people, you know? People. You gotta love it, guys. You gotta love it. Dealing in customer service, dealing with customers on a regular basis. It's not a bad thing. I enjoy my job, but sometimes I just want to bash my head against a wall. It is the way it is. So we're using the Cestus and an Ultra. And it's at that 20-minute mark, so we will be mixing up our weapon choices. Oop. Thought I switched it. No, you don't want to come in and get poked. Oh, good one. Not a hornet ring, but it's still gonna kill me. Oh no, I live. Cool. This is a good fight. Oh, come on. Good double kill. Well deserved. I saw it was coming. I was hoping my attack wouldn't have gone off first. And it looks like it did because he died slightly before I died, but his attack had just the right amount of time to get me too. That was a good one. I liked it. Very good fight. Excellent use of the greatsword. Good parry he got on me. He had a good prediction that I was going for the R2, which would have had a slower timing than the R1. If I had charged it, it might have worked in my favor, but then on the other hand, he might have had the timing to backstab me afterwards. So it's hard to say. Very hard to say. It was an enjoyable fight though, I liked it. It's not every day you fight someone who uses a greatsword so effectively. So, hopefully I'll get to fight him again more in the future. I did enjoy it. What do you have? Onakiri and Ubadachi. Hello, phone. Oh, couldn't I have just had a little bit of hyper armor? Yeah, I'm a little too carried away with those. Try to two-hand that. Okay, I'll just not roll. Whatever. I died to the spam. It happens. If I was one-handing, which I thought that I was, I would have gotten the parry. You might have noticed I put the sword off to the side at one point in the middle of the spam. That's because I forgot that I was two-handing. Had I remembered, I would have rolled back instead, but my own fault. It happens. I'm just happy that he didn't bother using a Karthus thingy. Just because that would have made it much more unpleasant. Hello, friend. Which greatsword are you using? Mira? I do believe that's Mira. Yeah, Hollow Slayer. Whoa! That range. I honestly expected a running attack, but that's okay. That range, that was stupid. I was very clearly not being touched by that sword. A little bit of phantom range on it. Bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. Oh well. These things happen from time to time, it just can't be helped. So we'll summon someone, we'll also take a look at our weapons and decide which set we're going to use next. Alright, let's grab our souls and then we'll take a look. Honestly, I'm in the mood to use the mace, so we will be using the standard mace. With it, what do we want? No. It's been a while since I've used a dagger, and I don't think I've actually... I did use that once. Let's use a bandit knife. Let's go for the bandit knife. Mace and bandit knife. Sounds like a good, fun little combo. And that's the plan. A little bit of lag on this, friend. Leo encounter for the win. That lag, though, it was just enough to really make things uncomfortable. As if dealing with a spear of that length isn't bad enough as it is. Adding lag on top just makes it very unpleasant. Still, we managed. Got it taken care of. I'm looking forward to using the mace next time. Should be good. Should be a good time. In a way, I wish that the Morningstar, instead of dealing strike damage, dealt thrust damage. I know there's already the war pick for that class, but I feel like the Morningstar would have made for an interesting addition. I also wish that it didn't have perseverance as its skill. It should have something more... I don't know. I think that the Morningstar would have definitely benefited more from Warcry, in all honesty. Getting that spam attack at the end, that would have made it a very dangerous weapon. That would have been fantastic. I mean, honestly, think about that. That flurry of attacking. That would have made it really good. That's a Moonlight Greatsword this time. That I know. Okay. Not cool. Oh my god. I tried to roll backwards and I rolled sideways, like at a forwards angle into him instead. Like, Controller, what are you doing to me? Why? Just why? Oh, I need to buy a new one. I really do. I'll do that soon, I swear. I need to buy computer parts. That's what I need to do. The question is, do I suffer with the controller for a little while longer, or do I buy the new computer parts? That is the question. Because the controller's funkiness doesn't happen all the time, it's just happening more and more frequently. So realistically, I should buy a few parts and then buy the controller and then buy the rest of the parts. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. But, ugh. You know, when I'm holding backwards and it makes me roll forwards at an angle instead, when I'm literally holding straight back, doesn't help anything. It makes it pretty difficult to actually, you know, do good things and stuff when the controller can't tell which direction I'm trying to go. I think I fought this guy once before, Jace. The name sounds familiar. Not quite sure when it was that I fought him, possibly earlier in this video even. I have no memory. I have no memory of it on this matter. Maybe once I see him and his weapon choice I'll remember. For all I know, he could be the last guy that I just fought. I don't pay attention to names. I don't remember names. When I'm fighting people, I remember their armor and what weapon they were using. It's a little bit silly, but that's what I pay attention to, so. Well, I know I haven't fought anyone using that weapon yet today, and I don't believe I've fought anyone wearing this armor yet today either. Get out of here with that. If you're really just gonna keep doing that, I will punish the hell out of it with a parry. Even if it's overkill, I will do it. I should have parried him, two-handed the shield, and then just shield bashed him. That would have been funny. Alright though guys, next time we start up, we are going to be using the bandit knife as well as the mace. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Even though I was using some pretty easy weapons, we had some good fights nonetheless with a lot of people, so I had fun with them. Anyway though, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.